All right, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mike. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about finding your cheat code for life. All right, and what I'm talking about is the issues that we notice that everybody comes across in life, right? We all go through basically the same issues in life, and we kind of all grow through childhood in the same ways. All right. Now I remember taking a psychology class and some leadership classes when I was younger that helped me realize a few things, and it helped me with the psychology class helped me with realizing some of the events of my life and how I processed them as a child and as I grew into an adult. All right. So what I'm talking about today is I'm going to start with the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So let's see if we can get that up on the screen here. Where are we at? I know I got to go down here somewhere. Nope. We're not ready, Mike. We're not ready. There we go. There it is. All right. So here we see, this is what we call Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He was a psychologist slash psychotherapist, high-level intellectual thinker. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me turn this down. You guys probably can't even hear me. That should be a little bit better. All right. Dang, I probably messed that up. So again, we're going to talk about helping people process the events in their life and the cheat code that I've found that worked for me, that helps me get through life easier without stressing so much about a lot of the same things that other people stress about. All right. So what we see here, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. This is the needs of all humans. All right. These are the things that as humans we all need. In fact, this is not even. Well, yeah, this one will work. All right. So this is the hierarchy of needs. Okay. So starting from birth, at the bottom we have the physiological needs of all people. Okay. So we have to have air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and an understanding of reproduction. All right. Now, once all of these needs are met, we're able to move up to the next level of needs that we all have in life. Okay. And these would be like the things like personal security, employment, meaning some source of income or way to gain resources that we can trade for other things that we need in our life. So employment doesn't necessarily mean a job, but some source, a way of gaining income. All right. Along with resources, people, like, resources can be a lot of different things. We don't hear a lot of people explain that outright. They just say the word resources, but resources can be a lot of different things for different people. Resources can be as small as, a bank account, the ability to get a car for transportation. For some people it might be a bus pass or a train pass, an Uber account. Okay, resources can be a lot of things: stocks and bonds, investments. Okay, but on that list we also have health and property. All right, so that's on the second level. Okay, as we move up, we have the love and belonging, right? So that would be friendship, intimacy, family, a sense of connection with other people, right? It's like, where do you belong in the human diaspora, right? Like, what is your clique, right? So once you have that belonging where you kind of feel out where you are as far as your group of people, you move up into the esteem. Okay, the self-esteem, social esteem. That would be getting respect from others, having a self-esteem to be able to do what you're capable of, your status in life or at work. Some people don't want to be on the fries forever. Okay, so somebody might want to be assistant manager one day. Okay, depending on what you do in your life, you want to have some type of status. All right, recognition. When some people need to be recognized for the things that they do in life. Okay, some people join the military because maybe they had a military family, so they want to be recognized by, maybe you had your dad and your grandpa were military, and you want to be recognized that, hey, I did it too, guys. I'm just like your clique. All right, I'm part of a special group of people. All right, your strengths, and then your strengths can be, say you're good at a thing, like whatever you're good at, those are your strengths, right? Some people are good at, let's say, customer service, right? Dealing with people in the public. Some people are good with that. Some people are not. Okay, they don't know how to talk to people and be respectful to customers and whatnot. Some people would make good waiters and waitresses. Some people don't. We have some people, for instance, I work in computers. There are people that work in the technology field that aren't so great with people, but they're great with all types of technology, computers, making things happen behind the scenes. Somebody that maybe works at a TV station might be great behind the camera, but not in front of the camera. Okay, so those are some of their strengths. All right, and then also the freedom to make their own choices. All right, so at the very top of this list is what we call self-actualization. Okay, that's the desire to become the most that somebody can be. All right, so that means that you know who you are, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and now you want to maximize your abilities, max out the person that you are. All right, so the way it was originally designed, Maslow's hierarchy of needs was that without having the things on the bottom of the pyramid, you couldn't get to the next level. All right, so he studied his theory, and this, I think he started this back in like the 1940s. Okay, and as he grew and as he did more research and whatnot, he realized that actually you can move up on his pyramid at different times in your life. We bounce around, right? As long as you had a good percentage of the things on the bottom level, you could move up to the next level, right? So quick explanation: majority of people that we know, the things that we hear of in social media and out about in the world, majority of people get stuck in the second and third levels, at any point in time on the period. They bounce around. Okay, and what I mean by that is like personal security. Okay, you become an adult, right? Say you're 18 to 24, somewhere around there. You get your own place. Okay, you've got a job, right? So you're meeting the needs of your safety. You're meeting your safety needs. Okay, you're getting resources. You got a car. Okay, you got the ability to take care of your stuff. You need soap at home, right, to wash yourself. Okay, your health. You're responsible for your own health, so you're doing all right. You're eating, exercising. You get a gym membership or something. You jog every day, whatever it is. Property. You're working or saving up to get your own home or buy some land, something like that, right? So, most people get that as young adults. and then they move up and they start making friendships and connections with people, whether you're in college or you're at the job or people you grew up with. As we all know, most people don't stay friends forever with the people that they grew up with. Okay, they might become acquaintances rather than friends. Okay, people you don't see all the time, people you don't hang out with a lot anymore, and this is due to people moving around. They might move to another city or state. They become busy with their lives, get families and stuff like that, so you don't see them as often. All right, so your level 3 changes, the love and belonging. Okay, but then there's times where people lose jobs, or say for instance what's been happening here over the last or the first 8 months of 2020. Okay, we've had the I don't even know what we're allowed to say anymore. The Rona came and got us. So people's second level needs, the safety needs, changed. Okay, a lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people, because they lost their jobs and their income, they may have lost some of their resources. I'm sure there's a lot of cars that got repoed, right? A lot of businesses that got shut down. Okay, so their employment needs changed. Okay, and that had a big effect on their life. So your love and belonging no longer becomes as important as finding employment. Your personal security is now at risk. You don't know if you're going to be able to stay in that home that you're renting, or if you're going to lose that home that you're paying a mortgage on. Okay, so what I found, and the reason I call this the cheat code for life, okay, maybe it's due to the way I grew up, having been in foster care, and I was forced to learn things as a child that most people don't have to learn and realize. Okay, I saw a lot of things that no kid should see, and I went through things that no kid should go through. All right. We noticed that a lot of people that went through these similar events in their lives also have a different thought pattern from people who grew up in, a 2-family home, had their parents, their siblings, the same friends as they grew up from kindergarten to 12th grade or whatever. So the people that went through like the foster care system and stuff like that, they realized different things, and that's what I did. So when I became an adult and I actually learned about this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, people used to call me crazy because I said that you can actually reverse engineer the hierarchy of needs model. Okay, and what I mean by that is that because I was forced to think as a child about different things that most kids don't have to think about, okay, as an adult, my train of thought became that of a person that's self-actualized. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read to you guys the description, okay, of what a self-actualized person is. This is the person who has reached the top level of the hierarchy of needs of all humans. And this doesn't matter. It's not an American thing. This is a human thing. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're herding sheep out in Afghanistan. Okay, if you own a bakery in Ireland. All right, this is something that all humans go through, all people go through. All right, and so I point this out to the men more because with let's see, where is it at? Okay, here. All right, so the difference between men and women. Okay, once a man becomes 18, all right, especially here in America. In some countries, it's actually younger. Okay, but once a man becomes, 18, I'm just going to use this as an example because the people that are watching this video will relate more because they're, it's going to be majority of Americans. Okay, when a man turns 18, he is forced to provide everything for himself on the most part from the second level and up. Okay, his air, food, water, and stuff like that on the first level has been provided for him. As long as he doesn't get kicked out of his house, he's got that first level. Okay, some guys, some families still have that mentality. Hey, at 18, it's time for you to get out. So they're starting at level 1. They're starting back at the bottom. They got to find their own air, food, water, shelter, and all that. Okay, but for those people that, they've reached level 1. Okay, now you're an 18-year-old adult. Right? If you can reverse engineer this pyramid, okay, meaning let's start at the top. Right? Let's become a self-actualized person. Okay, that will actually help you with all the other levels of the pyramid. Okay, and this all comes down to your thinking. Okay, your thought processes. Right? So like how Maslow described was that very few people ever become a self-actualized person. Very few people ever reach that top part of the pyramid. It's because they're always bouncing around in the second and third levels of the pyramid. There's always some type of change, something that happens, kind of like Sims. If you've ever played the Sims game, you'll have times where your sim tells you they're hungry. Your sim tells you that they need sleep. That's all based on psychology. Okay, this is something that all people go through, right? So if you can learn the characteristics of the people that have become self-actualized and get yourself to that mentality, the other things on the pyramid become not so hard. All right, so I want to start again. Like I said, the characteristics of a self-actualized person. Okay. Wait, actually, hold on. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So this is where I want to be. So I'm going to read these off real quick. The characteristics of a self-actualized person: they perceive reality efficiently and can tolerate uncertainty. Okay, that means that they're willing to accept change. A lot of people are not willing to accept change, that uncertainty, not knowing what's coming. Okay, some people won't go and apply for a better job or a better position because they're unsure of what that entails. Like we hear a lot of times that people are scared of success. Right? Every person that has any type of coaching program where they're trying to help people become either rich or successful or just do better in life, they'll tell you that people are scared of success, and it's because of that uncertainty. All right. The second characteristic: they accept themselves and others. The biggest, human characteristic flaws that we come across. The reason that people commit suicide is because they can't accept themselves. Right? The reasons that people hate is because they don't want to accept other people for what they are. When their friends leave and either they get married or they become successful, or you do better in life and you realize that your friends are not trying to be better in life, and this causes a hate or breakup. This causes, I think, this is one of the things that causes the most change in people, is that they don't accept themselves for who they are. When we say take a look in the mirror, anybody who does any type of coaching program or any type of coaching or therapy, that's one of the main things they say is take a look in the mirror and realize who you are. Well, if you learn these characteristics, this is going to help you take that look in the mirror that we talk about. Okay? Accepting yourself for who you are and accepting others for who they are. You cannot force people to change. But we see that so often that we're trying to force them to change, and we're all guilty of it. I've been guilty of it multiple times. And every once in a while, I fall back into that where I'm like, because I expect more from certain people, especially like when we're talking to adults, when I communicate with other adults, I expect more from those adults. I expect a different behavior from what I'm seeing out of that person. Okay, and then I have to remind myself, you know what? I can't change them. They are who they are. All right. So that's one of the things, to me, is one of the strongest characteristics, that if you can get control of that, like I said, we all fall in and out of that. But if you can learn to control that, accept who you are. Okay, some people thought they were going to make it to the NBA. They didn't. Okay, then they wallow in regret for years after that because they didn't get drafted or they weren't good enough. Some people got hurt in sports, and so they couldn't do that anymore. And they can't accept that that's happened. They were dead stuck on that. All right. So number 2, accepting yourself and others for who they are, for what they are. Okay. Number 3, the third characteristic is they're spontaneous in thought and action. Okay. Every once in a while, you know what? Just do it. Okay. That's literally the Nike motto. Just do it. All right. Go just do something on the weekend that you haven't done before. Everything doesn't have to be planned. Everything doesn't have to be a perfect schedule, right? Sometimes, you get an idea, try it out, just go for it. Okay? Because you're going to learn from that experience. Every new experience is a learning lesson or a lesson learned. Okay? Number 4, they're problem-centered, not self-centered. Okay, we meet a lot of people on this social media, and it's self-evident. Like, it shows just in that little bit of communication. Majority of people are self-centered. Okay, they're not problem-centered. Okay, they don't do things to solve a problem. They do things to make themselves happy. Okay, majority of the people that are self-actualizers, they're actually problem-centered, not self-centered. All right. The 5th characteristic, their unusual sense of humor. Okay, people that can just laugh at life. All right. Some people will use your morals and or their morals or their beliefs against you. We're seeing that with the social justice warriors right now. Okay? That old person falls down in the street. You know what? The way they fell might be funny as hell to you. Okay? They might have stumbled and on their way down made the funniest sounds. Right? Where when you laugh, other people look at you like, damn, what's wrong with this dude? It's kind of messed up. But you know what? It happened. It's life. You got to be able to laugh at life. Okay? Why are you going to be mad at somebody else? That comes down back to accepting other people for what they are. Okay? And we're seeing that from the social justice warriors of today. All right? So that's unusual sense of humor. The next one, able to look at life objectively. Again, it is what it is. Okay? This is just life. Things happen. Whether you believe that that God is talking to you, the universe is talking to you, that this shouldn't have happened, it doesn't matter what you believe. It is what it is. All right? You got to be able to look at life like, okay, this happened. How do we move on from here? All right? The world is not out to get you. Everybody goes through almost the same problems, and that's what the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is explaining. All right. The characteristics of self-actualizers, number 7, they're highly creative. All right. All my life growing up, I used to tell people I'm not a very creative person. I can't draw. Okay. I'm not a great writer. even though when I was young, because I was able to tell my story and write it and all, like, the little essays and stuff we had to do in elementary school, people told me I was a great writer, but it's not because I was a great writer. I was just literally telling my stories, and I think the teachers were just moved by the experiences that I had. They said I was a great writer, and to me, I was just telling my story. But I grew up believing that I wasn't highly creative, and after learning about this hierarchy of needs, you know what? Let me get this off the screen. I'm sure that's probably bugging somebody. Somebody's right now throwing a fit because I got my cheat code for life up on the screen. Because they can't accept me for what I am. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so back to, where was I? All right, I'm here. Highly creative. Okay, so as I got older, I realized that at some point in high school, I was actually a very creative person. I always found a way to entertain myself. I always went out and just did what I wanted to do, regardless of what other people thought about it. Okay, so there were times where my friends were going to go do something. I was like, nah, I'm going to go skate today. Or I'm going to go do this. And I'd find myself, there were times where I found myself out in the forest in Hawaii, just because that's what I want to do. I was on a different thought pattern from what the crowd was doing. All right. When we were surfing and stuff like that, when there was a big crowd at one surf spot, and I would look down down the street. In Hawaii, the beaches, all the beaches are connected, right? But we have different names for different surf spots, right? So if one surf spot was really crowded, I was like, you know what? I'll catch more waves. I'll have more fun, enjoy myself more if I just go down to the next beach. You have to know how surfing works to know how that actually works. Not all beaches are created equal. All right, but yeah, I always found a way to make money. I sold candies and I made homemade candies and lollipops when I was in high school, and that was like one of my little hustles. I had a lot of hustles, and this is why I say I realized as an adult that I actually was pretty creative, because I did a lot of things growing up that other people, or I came up with ideas that other people didn't have at the time. All right, so I was always able to make my own money. The only thing I really asked my parents for, excuse me, when I was in high school was to make sure I had a bus pass. It's like, I don't know what it was, but it was like, for some reason I felt like because my parents were telling me I had to go to school, then it's your job to make sure I can get to school. Okay, so if you aren't buying me a car, you're gonna get me that bus pass. But there were many times as I became 11th and 12th grade, I was buying my own bus passes. And that was just because I had the money. I had the ability to do it, so I just did it. Took that responsibility on for myself for the most part. All right, so yes, highly creative, and believe it or not, you too, you might think you're not a very creative person, but we can almost all guarantee that there are times that when you get bored, you'll find a way to entertain yourself. Okay, unless you just sit down in front of the TV and let somebody else entertain you. Me, I'm not a big TV watcher. All right, I used to turn the TV on to go to sleep. Like TV made me actually fall asleep. All right. All right, but moving on, the next characteristic of self-actualized people, that they're resistant to enculturation, but not purposely unconventional. All right. So resistant to enculturation, meaning the people that become self-actualized, they don't take on that moniker that we call the sheep. Okay, they don't just follow the crowd. All right. But at the same time, they're not going around shooting people just because that's what they want to do today. I just want to go shoot somebody. Okay. So that's what that characteristic means right there. Okay. They're not going to become sheep, but they understand the laws of the land. Okay. They're still going to fall in line with human culture. Okay. And the laws where they live. You know, the laws in America are different from the laws in maybe, say, Brazil or Yugoslavia. Okay, there's different laws. So people will go there. They'll follow the law, but they're not going to be sheep and just do the same exact thing that everybody else is doing and follow the same the thought patterns. All right. So what else we got here? Okay, people that are self-actualized, they become concerned for the welfare of humanity. What we're seeing right now is, millions of content creators, I would say, on YouTube, right? And there is a big issue right now with the human trafficking and children, okay? And the bigger social media platforms are taking this information off of the social media sites, right? So they're making it so that the people that are concerned can't even get that message out. We hear of millions and millions of children that go missing every year, but nobody's talking about it. Okay, if you go and scrub social media right now, okay, there's very few people. You'll hear about all kinds of stupid stuff about the celebrities and the athletes and all of that. But where are the children? Where are the millions of kids that go missing every year? Why is it that they can find, what is that what do they call that when old people go missing? Well, regardless, they can find an old person that their memories falling apart, and they took off and went to Vegas for a holiday for no reason. All right. But they can't find millions of these kids that just disappeared and nobody's talking about it. Very few people, are saying, where are the children? There's a hashtag right now that if you look around, you'll see the hashtag. But millions of kids have gone missing, and that's become a hashtag. It's not even like there's no content on it. And the children that are missing, they're not all like one race. They're not all from just one country. They're missing from multiple places. But you don't hear people talking about it because they're self-centered. Okay? You see how these characteristics all fall in line with each other? All right, so concern for the welfare of humanity. When one of my sons was younger, he wanted to go out and stop the the poachers, the people that were going to Africa and hunting the elephants for their ivory tusks and stuff like that. All right. He wanted to go help people in villages and stuff like that. Okay. So as we become adults, people become more and more self-centered because their needs are changing. And so they make decisions based on their individual needs, where they stop caring about humanity as much. Not completely, just as much. All right. All right. Next characteristic: they're capable of deep appreciation of basic life experience. One of the things that we're noticing is that with all these celebrities and athletes and stuff, right? So they've reached a bunch of their goals and stuff like that, but they'll even tell you they feel incomplete. And so this is how you get all of a sudden Will Smith is skydiving out of a plane. At 50 something years old, I want to jump out of a plane today. Why? Because there's a lot of experiences that he never had those experiences because he was so busy doing like chasing after his needs. Okay, so I guess what we learned was that somewhere in Will Smith's mind, he might have had a goal for a while that he wanted to jump out of a plane one day. He wanted to experience that. Some people don't jump in the ocean. They don't know what it's like for the ocean waves to push you along the sand. Okay, basic stuff, simple stuff. There's a lot of people that grow up and they say they don't know how to ride a bike. All right, basic life experiences. Okay, they don't travel, they don't go anywhere, they never leave their cities. They never get out of the state and go see things. The Grand Canyon, Mount Rushmore. Go to Washington, D.C. People don't do these basic things. A lot of people can't even point out the capital of their country on a map as adults. All right, let's see. What's the next one? Establish deep, satisfying interpersonal relationships with a few people. Okay. This one we see a lot. Okay, when we talk about relationships, we see this a lot because people are selfish. Okay, and selfish people rarely ever find the success that they want in life. Okay, that's one of the things that we realize. This is true amongst all nations, all countries. That's why I said it's rarely. I didn't say not at all. It's very rare for selfish people to get what they want out of life. It's because of their relationships. Okay, they're not able to communicate and talk to other people and actually get to know them. Right? Why? Because what was the other characteristic that was up there? Accept themselves and others for what they are. Yeah. So because you can't accept people for what you are, then it's going to be hard for other people to talk to you and communicate with you. To, what do we say? Keep it real. Be real. Because you're not accepting of it. Okay? I've talked to people that said they won't accept me because I'm a mixed person and I'm not one full race, so I can't be trusted because I was born. Things like that. Okay? It's ridiculous, right? But those people have a hard time getting deep, satisfying relationships. Okay? Peak experiences. All right? People that are self-actualized have peak experiences, meaning they've experienced things that were so phenomenal that it changed their way of thought. It opened them up to a whole new train of thought. Okay, because it's a peak experience, meaning it's like, wow, it's mind blowing, right? Say for instance, everybody that's driving a car, they drive every day, right? But the minute you get yourself into a supercar and you get to drive that supercar and actually hit the gas, hit the pedal hard, and that thing takes off on you and pins you to your seat, okay? That could be considered a peak experience. If you go on YouTube right now and you can find videos where guys will take a girl into a supercar or a car that's been fixed up to be super fast. Okay, they throw a big turbo on there or a supercharger, an 800 horsepower car, and they pin that pedal to the ground. Okay, or you know what? Even I remember when we were younger, we would build sound systems for cars, right? And you get that bass box bumping. The first time some girls experience that, that's like a peak experience for them. That's a whole new experience. To us, it might seem like nothing, but to that girl, that was a life-changing experience. All right, we'll leave that. Okay. So the next characteristic, the need for privacy. People that are self-actualized, they do have a need for privacy. not complete privacy, but they take time for themselves where they separate from all the people in their life. Some people do it for a couple hours. Some people will do it for a couple weeks. All right, or they might need a couple days to just get away from the everyday life, the sheeple, the nonsense of like the social media and stuff like that. There are people that will just disappear. And I notice I do that often. Okay, I'll get on social media because I'm promoting stuff, either a video or I see something I like, and I'll be on social media for a couple days. Then all of a sudden, I don't post nothing for a week or two. No reason. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not fighting with anybody. It's just because I've got other things going on in my mind, and I just need to get away from the thought processes of other people so that it doesn't, poison my mind. Okay. So yeah, every once in a while, I just got to get away. This is one of the great things about riding a motorcycle. When you get on a motorcycle, you clear your mind. Okay. You can just throw some music on, the music you like. You're by yourself. Okay. It's just you in the open road. All right. So you can actually clear your mind that way. That's why you also don't see a lot of motorcycle riders at therapist's office. All right. So need for privacy. Next one was democratic attitudes. That one is kind of like, I guess, a village mentality. Okay. Making the village work. Okay, and that's kind of that one relates to the welfare of humanity. Okay, that one is kind of like they put that one in there twice because it kind of means the same thing, that democratic attitude. Okay, the village working together to make the village work. Okay, but yeah, self-actualized people actually want things to work. They want society to continue. Okay, and you kind of need that attitude that, hey, everybody can do their part. Whatever it is that you're doing, just don't be a detriment to the community. All right. And the last one here, the last characteristic, says strong moral and ethical standards. Standards. Okay, meaning they have realized what works for them and what doesn't. And they stick to those standards. Okay? Doesn't mean that they follow the morals and ethics of other people. It's that they've realized for themselves what morals and what standards they have. What they will allow themselves to do and will not allow themselves to do. Okay? They have their own basis that they follow, their own standards. Okay, their own ethics. Okay, for some people, say, I heard somebody saying today that there were certain things that they couldn't do, like being a lawyer. Okay, because lawyers might have to do some kind of shady trickery to win a court case. There are some people that will stick to their standards and they won't allow themselves to be a lawyer because their ethics and their morals won't allow them to do that trickery. Okay, so self-actualized people, these are the 15 common, okay, these characteristics that I just named off are the characteristics that are common amongst self-actualized people. Okay, and they did a study of who they considered to be self-actualized people, and that's how they came up with these characteristics. All right. So if you understand that, now I'm going to show you the behaviors that will help you become that self-actualized person. Okay. And a lot of people won't like this, but at the same time, a lot of people hardly ever become that self-actualized person and find out who they actually are, realize what they're made of. Okay. Yeah, I'll let this explain. It'll explain it as I read it. Okay, so the behavior that leads to self-actualization. To help you get to those 15 characteristics of a self-actualized person, these are the behaviors they have. They experience life like a child with full absorption and concentration. They take it in and they understand what's happening. Okay, like kids when they're little, right? They see Superman on TV, and what do the kids do, right? They want to be like Superman, so they grab a towel, they wrap it around their neck, and they go and jump off the couch and they try to fly. Okay, that's experiencing life like a child. Okay, just getting out there and doing the things that are fun, the ideas that come to mind. If nobody stops you, there's kids that would jump off of a house, off of a roof, right? Because they're experiencing life like a child. Okay, and what happens in the way that we grow up, people get it brainwashed out of them to stop experiencing life like a child. There's a difference between acting like a child and experiencing life like a child. Okay, absorbing in what's happening around you, taking it in. Okay, just it's kind of like when we're kids and people say, do as I say or not as I do. Parents will tell that to the kid and the kid's looking at them like they're crazy. Like, you told me don't do this, but you just did it 3 times this week, right? That's experiencing life like a child. Okay, that's one example. All right, the next behavior, trying new things instead of sticking to safe paths. Okay, most people, like I said earlier, are afraid of change. They won't do it. They're not going to do it. Okay, and so this is why some people don't reach the success they want. Some people say they want to be millionaires, but they won't invest any money because they don't know what the outcome's going to be. The people, we hear it all the time. Oh, I should have invested in Yahoo. Oh, I should have invested in Google or Apple or Microsoft, right? And everybody that was old enough to invest at that time, they have that regret that they never put some money into those stocks. And it would have been something so simple as, $100, $200 for a year or two. Okay. And they would have made out like champs. But because they didn't try that one little change would have given them a completely different life. But people are scared to try new things. All right. The next behavior, listening to your own feelings and evaluating experiences instead of the voice of tradition, authority, or the majority. This one right here, let me highlight that a little bit. Okay, this is the sheeple mentality right there. Okay, instead of listening to yourself, you follow the crowd. If you follow the crowd, you're going to get the same results as everybody else. Okay, that's one of the major behaviors that if people could change that, stop following the crowd, like that, man, that'll open up so many new doors. Changing your thought processes because you're not following what everybody else is doing. I remember when the Apple phones came out, everybody said, "Oh, I'm gonna get an Apple. I'm gonna get an Apple. I'm gonna get an Apple." And I said, "Yeah, I don't really like them that much." Right? That was my opinion at the time. Okay. And then I remember as the Androids came out and they got better and better, and I was able to do things with my Androids that Apples couldn't do. So in the barbershop, we would have not arguments, but conversations, I guess, going back and forth with, well, my phone can do this. My phone can do that. Oh, I have a better camera. Yeah, but, that's the same camera I had in my phone 3 years ago. Like, what's so great about that? Okay, and we would go back and forth and we would be competing with our Android versus Apple, regardless that neither one of us made the phones, but just the fact that, like I was explaining to them, I'm not going to go with the crowd just because that's what everybody else is doing. And I still hear people as adults in their 30s and 40s, talking about, oh no, Apple, you got to get an Apple. They're still saying that same conversation, right? Not realizing that, as a techie, I know that all phones can be hacked. A lot of the reasons that people say they want an Apple is because it can't be hacked. The other people say it's because it's easy to use. Okay, that laziness is getting in there. It's easy to use, right? Not realizing you can do the same stuff with an Android that you can do on an Apple. The name of the programs that they use might be different, but they all use the same programs, the same technology. All right. But anyway, we're going to move on from that. Listening to your own feelings and evaluating experiences instead of the voice of tradition, authority, or the majority. Okay. If you can get rid of that behavior where you're just following the crowd and doing stuff just because that's the way mom and dad did it, that's the way my grandparents did it. Guess what? You are not your grandparents. We are in the year 2020. Okay. Your grandparents grew up in like the 50s and 60s, most likely. Or your parents, depending on how old you are. Okay. You are not them. Your world is different from the world they grew up in. Some traditions are going to change. Okay. Authority, as we can see right now with what's happening all across America. Okay. The voice of authority in America, they're trying to change that. Okay. The voice of the majority right now. They're trying to create a new majority in America. Okay. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to talk politics on this stream. But that's one of the behaviors. Following the crowd. When you stop following the crowd, your life changes. All right. The next behavior. Avoiding pretense, game playing, and being honest. Okay. I don't have to tell you guys, don't lie, don't be fake and all that. Same thing we said earlier, be real, right? Be yourself. Okay, that's when you're dealing with anybody. You should be real, be yourself. I've heard it used before that some people will lie in an interview and stuff like that to get a job or whatever. Okay? A lot of those same people, though, end up getting fired or let go of the company because they're not up to par with what the company was asking for. They're not capable of doing the work that they said they could do. Okay, so that's risk and reward, right? Okay, if you're going to lie and cheat, well, okay, there's a risk to it that some people can't handle. That might move you down to another level on that pyramid. Because it can have drastic effects on your life when you get caught in those lies. Okay? Check out the divorce rate in America. Men and women. Okay, I'm speaking to men and women on that one. Okay? Men don't cheat. All right. What's the next behavior? Being prepared to be unpopular if your views do not coincide with those of the majority. A lot of people will just stay quiet rather than disagree if they have a different opinion about something. Okay, because they're scared of the verbal attacks or the what is that? Like the repercussions of not going with the crowd. Okay? But a self-actualized person, they're ready. I don't need to be popular, especially if I can bring facts, if I can prove my point. Okay? I'm not worried about being popular, about other people agreeing with me. Okay? That's not a concern of mine. Okay? I use this behavior for me is important because and I say this often, I don't have the same problems that a lot of people have. And I've been through a lot of worse stuff than other people. And yes, there are people that have been through worse stuff than I've been through. Okay? But I'm prepared for my views to be different from others. I don't care. It's not going to hurt me. That's how I think. That's who I am. So I'm not going to just go along to get along. I will get along with you. We don't have to argue. It doesn't have to be a fight. We can agree to disagree. But there's a lot of people who are scared for others to disagree with them, or they're scared to disagree with other people. All right. The next one, and this is probably for all men out there. taking responsibility and working hard. There is no excuse for any man to not get the results he wants. There is no legitimate excuse for any man. Okay? We have seen people, what is what's the word I'm looking for? Paraplegic? The people that are handicapped from the chest down. Okay, I know a guy right now. Okay, he's got a job, he's got his nice truck, he's got his wife, his family, he's got his house. He's paraplegic. He's handicapped from the nipples to the toes. He can't feel a thing. Okay? I wouldn't arm wrestle him. I'll tell you that much. Strong buddy. Okay? But there's no excuse. So taking responsibility and working hard. Okay? Self-actualized people are ready to do that. I want this. What does it take to get this? Oh, A, B, C, and D? Cool. I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. I'm going to take responsibility and I'm going to go work hard to get what I want. There's a lot of people that can't even do that. Okay, we always hear people say what they're going to do. But majority of the people that are just saying what they're going to do, everybody's got stories of their friends or family. Oh yeah, you said you were going to do this. Whatever happened with that? Oh, well, you know. And some kind of bunk excuse comes after that. Okay, my kids, they already know. It's kind of like, almost like the way I was raised. We're not allowed to have excuses. Okay, this had to be done. This wasn't done. Why not? Okay, unless there was some kind of super family emergency or something like that. No, this is what needs to be done. Take responsibility and get it done. And what most people realize is that hard work isn't all that hard. Okay, that's something for people to think about. Okay, that's one of those behaviors. You know, I like that one. Taking responsibility and working hard. Okay, a lot of people, they can't get out of the second level of that pyramid for that reason right there. They can't take responsibility for themselves and they're not willing to work hard. All right. And then the last characteristic that is common. Remember, all these that I just named right here are the behaviors that lead to self-actualization. Okay, which is the goal for most people in life. But they don't know about how to go about reaching that goal. So I'm laying it out here, right here for you. Okay, this comes right out of the psychology books. Okay, last one, trying to identify your defenses and having the courage to give them up. All right, so this goes kind of in hand with the taking responsibility. Identify your defenses. Are you always coming up with an excuse of why you won't do something new or try something or why you're not going to apply for that job? I hear all kinds of stuff. Like right now, the big issue in the media has been the race issue. And I hear people saying, oh, I'm not going to apply for that job. They don't hire black people. I call bunk because I know a lot of people, a lot of black guys that have, well-paying jobs. They live in very nice communities. They don't have the issues with the police and stuff like what the world, with the way America is describing right now. But there's a lot of people that use that as an excuse. They use that as a defense of why they're not going to do stuff. And who knew that if you gave up we call it the race card, you gave up the race card and actually tried something and actually held your feet to the fire and went out there and earned it, you know what? You could have more than you ever wanted. But people have that characteristic or don't have that behavior right there. Okay? They're not willing to give up their defense. They want to always have an excuse for why they couldn't have what they wanted or why they couldn't do what they wanted to do. All right? So those behaviors right there, if you can learn What is that? E is 5, so FG, 7. 7 behaviors. Those 7 behaviors that are highlighted right there. I'm going to leave it I'm going to leave it up on the screen for a little bit. If you can learn those right there, that will completely change your train of thought. Okay? And when you change your train of thought, all of a sudden, where's my... Here, we'll use we'll use this one here. All of a sudden, no, we're going to go back to the needs. I like the other one better. More people can understand this one, so I'm going to use this one. All of these things right here are not so hard to come across, right? Because your safety needs are easy to find. When you know who you are, when you know what your skills are, when you find out what you're good at and what you're not good at, okay, it's easier to find employment or to start a business. Most people won't start a business because they're scared or they don't know how. And right now in 2020, with all the information you need, is right here in your cell phones. All the information you need, you can go on there, go on Google or whatever search engine you use. Okay, I know not everybody likes to use Google, but DuckDuckGo, Bing, whatever search engine you want, you can look up how to start a business. Arizona. And just a quick cheat code. I have a stream on my page where I walked you through starting a business, a legal business in Arizona. Okay? LLC, S Corp, all that. It's in there. I did that for you guys. But anyway, okay. So once you reach level 2, when you are secure in level 1 and level 2 of this pyramid, okay, the love and belonging and the esteem, they start to go together. Okay? When you're secure in who you are and you're honest with yourself, level 3 is easy. Because people like real. People don't like to be played with. Okay? So if you're real, if you keep it real, okay, people trust you. They're willing to open up to you. Okay? Whether it's guys trusting you in business, or if you're looking for, a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever. Okay? When you keep it real, your options open up. When you're a real person. When you're an honest person. Okay? And when all these 3 are in line and they're getting filled up, okay, your self-esteem is easy to keep full. All right? So if you start at the top with the self-actualization and follow those characteristics and behaviors, okay, these are the characteristics and behaviors of people who have reached the top level. It's like the top level of humanity. Okay? The people that have reached that level are the ones that are like completely, they're happy in life. Okay? Everybody has some type of problem here and there, but the self-actualized people, they realize when they are the problem and they handle it. They fix the problem for themselves. They're not waiting for someone else to fix their problems. So if you reverse engineer this pyramid, start at the top and find these characteristics in yourself. Okay? Take on these behaviors right here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you can take on those behaviors, right? And just understand the rest of this, because these go hand in hand. Okay, if you can take these behaviors on, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay, then what's going to happen is you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you're going to have standards for your life. There's going to be things that you accept and don't don't accept from other people. Okay? You're going to want to see society work together. Okay? You're not going to hang out with the thieves, right? You got standards. You want people in your community to operate like a community. Okay? You're going to want privacy at times. You're going to want to get away from the people that are not adhering to your standards. Okay? Some people would call this the alpha male, or alpha female, or whatever it may be. But these are the behaviors right here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's easy to find these characteristics in yourself if you practice these behaviors right here. Okay? Stop thinking that because you're 25 now, you can't play. That's BS. Okay, there are people in their 30s that are winning video game championships, making millions of dollars. Okay, because they're experiencing life like a child. They're doing what they enjoy doing. But you'll have other people, right, that'll get on the internet and they'll talk garbage about a guy who's making millions of dollars playing video games. Meanwhile, they're having problems paying, they have problems making their house payments, their car payments, their college loans. Okay? They have all these problems, and they have the audacity to talk garbage about somebody who's just succeeding in life by acting like a kid, playing video games. But those people who are making fun of that guy, they're also the same people who never tried for that new job. They didn't put the work in to get a new skill so that they could earn more money, so they wouldn't be so deep in debt, so that one day they could buy a house. Okay? You see how there's risk and reward for everything, right? But people who take absolutely no risk, you also get absolutely no reward. And then you become just like the sheeple. You become like the rest of the people. And then you have the same complaints. All right. So that's the cheat code for life, guys. Everybody who stuck by and actually took the time to learn, because I'm going to put it in the title, cheat code for life. Okay. A lot of people are not going to watch this video. People that I know are not going to watch this video. And I'm going to hear the same complaints a year from now out of the same people that I hear today. All right, something to think about. Okay, you guys look this stuff up. This comes out of psychology books. This isn't new information. This is information that's been out there. If you went to college or if you ever got interested in any type of psychology, every mental education place, I don't even know what to call them. Okay, but like I said, I'm not a big college graduate. I don't have some high vocabulary and stuff. It's not hard to learn these things. All right, this right here is it's damn near common sense. Okay, but somebody will say, "Oh, Mike doesn't know how to talk and this and that." But you know what? Mike doesn't have the same complaints you have. Something that I want you guys to think about. All right. So these things right here, one last time, these behaviors are the common behaviors of people that have successfully reached the highest level of their human character. They've found out who they are. Okay, some people will say that, oh yeah, I've done that. Oh yeah, this guy, yeah, I'm a football player. Yeah, until he gets hurt, right? And he can no longer play football. Okay, and we've heard of these guys that get rich because they're a musician or they have a talent, but when that talent goes away, the athlete gets hurt. Okay, all of a sudden they're broke. Okay, now they're suffering. Why? Right here. They never let go of some of these. Oh, I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see me. Right here. They kept their old ways. Okay, they didn't take the time because they said, "Oh, I got money now, so I can do whatever I want." You're right. You can do whatever you want. And that's exactly what they do. Because of, what was that characteristic? Wasn't there one in there that said something about being selfish? Self-centered? Right? So now they have to go back to the drawing board and learn how to solve problems instead of just thinking about themselves. Now they're on that pyramid and they have to drop way back down to, the first level or second level. All right. So anyway, that's it for this video. I know it's a long one, but I just felt this had to be shared. I want to appreciate everybody that came out, took the time to see the video. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, duh. Okay. There I am. Did you miss me? All right. So this is all based on, again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. My kids are playing around. Okay. Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Look it up for yourself. Read it. Now, actually, you know what? I want to drop this website into the description of the video. The description that I'm reading. Okay, so that you guys can actually go and read this for yourself. Some people might say, "Oh, Mike, yeah, you're full of shit. It's bunk, man." All right, but I'm going to say this, that these things work for me. Okay, I don't have a lot of the same complaints that other people have. It's because I've actualized who I am inside. I know what I am capable of. So I do the things that I know are going to make me happy. I've taught my kids how to become self-actualized. Okay? So I have one son who's a musician, but he also, he makes music and he also produces beats for others that want to be music artists. Okay? Because they've actualized who they are inside. Both of them were athletes in school, played football and basketball. Okay? They did those things. They said growing up that they want to do those things. One said he wanted to go chase the poachers around in Africa. All right? And now he's in training to be in special ops in the military. Okay? Because he's actualized. One of the things that we noticed in him since he was little, he was gung-ho. And we didn't have to walk him into it. In fact, I told my kids I didn't want them to join the military. I wanted them to find out who they are first for themselves. Okay, and the one that's joining the military, he's been listening to me. He was raised by me, so he's on a common thinking plane, I guess. And he found out, who he is, and he wants to test himself. He doesn't want to just be in the military. No, he signed up to go into special ops. Okay, he said, "No, I'm not going to just be some cook on a ship. No, sir." He said he wants to be that guy, the one they call on when something needs to be done. He wants to be that guy. So I said, "All right, you're 20 years old now. If that's what you want to do, you're an adult. I got to let you make that decision for yourself." And you know what he's doing every day? He's training. He's staying in shape. He goes with the recruiters and he's passed every PT test. He's passed his ASVAB. He's got his contract. He's in the DEP program, the Delayed Enlistment Program. Okay? He's got a date of when he's supposed to fly out. So he's actualized who he is inside. He's not joining the military because he wants the money. He's joining the military because he wants the experience. He's already making money right now at home, working. Okay, he's making almost the same amount of money he'd make for his first year in the military. But he wants that experience. He wants that special ops experience. And so that's what he's going for. Okay, 2 guys grew up in the same home with the same people, same, dad raising them. They both self-actualized. One found his path in life. He wants to make music and he wants to help other people make music. So that's what he's doing. And the other one said he wants to be a special ops. He wants to be the one they call on. So just like my kids, I was an entrepreneur, or I'm entrepreneurial. I have many side hustles that I got going on, as well as I've always been interested in tech. So I took employment in tech. And through that, I'm learning more about tech. And I talk to other people, online and at work about tech stuff, about what's going on with the computers in the world. And who knows? 42, maybe at 50, I have my own company. Or I get together with a few other guys and we make a company. All right? We're not stuck in one place. We got options. Why? Because we're self-actualized. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. All right? So we work towards those things, those experiences that we want now. All right? So I want you guys to get out there, check your behaviors, and see is it the religion that's stopping you from being who you want to be, from doing what you want to do? Okay, is it because you're following the crowd? One of the sheeple, that's what we call them. Okay, people who just follow the crowd, do what everybody else is doing. You're going to get the same results as everybody else. You got to find out who you are. Take that look in the mirror. Okay, because when you actually find out who you are, you become a free person, a truly free person. Okay, as a man, all these issues that we hear about with relationships and divorce and people getting scammed and stuff, guess what? When you have standards for your life, okay, when you've taken on that trait, that's one of the traits of a self-actualized person. Okay, you no longer will allow people that are messy like that into your life, people that can destroy your home, people that can take your resources from you. Okay, you no longer deal with people like that. Okay, but first you have to be honest with yourself. See, all these things, like these characteristics of the self-actualized person, this is what, like, all of these give you the results that people want in life. And I just listed the behaviors. If you just learn these 7 behaviors, right? Isn't there a book out there? What is it? The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People? Think about it. Listen to the numbers. 7. Why? Because it's the 7 habits, the 7 behaviors. Life is easy if you follow these behaviors. Okay, and this comes out of psychology. All right, I'm not reading to you guys from a specific book. This is something that all the people in psychology and psychiatrists and people that work in the mental field, they all agree on this stuff. It's those people who don't want to change their train of thought because mom taught me this, dad taught me that, my one teacher said this, or this one professor said that. And so they get stuck in that train of thought. They're not open. They've closed their mind off to new thoughts, new ideas. Okay? But this is a proven theory. All the people that have been considered self-actualized people, they all have these behaviors. So if you can take on those behaviors, you can, you know what I'm saying? Like your freedom, you can find your freedom as a person. And that opens up all the possibilities for you. When you know who you truly are you a painter? Are you a welder? Are you a teacher? And when I say a teacher, I mean like somebody who goes out and teaches people of the world stuff. I don't just mean like somebody who's in the 4th grade class with kids, snots all in their nose and stuff. Okay, but you can actually find out who you are. Check those 7 behaviors, guys. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. Like I said 10 minutes ago. I appreciate you guys for coming out. Please, where is it? Where am I? Over here. Somewhere down there it says like and subscribe. Go check out my other streams, my other videos. There's something in there for everybody. Okay, and I make these videos for my kids so that they can always go back and hear the things that I've taught them again. All right, but if somebody else can benefit from it, then I don't mind sharing that. Okay, I'm not monetized. Okay, I haven't asked anybody for $1. Okay, this is what I teach to my children, and I'm sharing this with the world so that other people can have the same success. Okay, so please like and subscribe. Check out the other videos. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All right. Again, this has been MikeShinnery with your cheat code for life. Until the next one, aloha. And I am